You don't need to bring a knife backpacking. At least not one like this, or like this, and certainly not like this.
What?
Look, there's a new piece of gear out on the market that makes bringing any other kind of knife or multi-tool backpacking kind of seem a little ridiculous. And here it is.
Oh.
You're gonna love this little guy. It just might be your new favorite piece of gear.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you all about it, and let me know at the end of the video if I've convinced you to never bring a traditional knife backpacking again. Hey y'all, my name is Adam and this is Dad Camps, and I've been backpacking for over 25 years now. I've learned a lot of lessons along the way, and I want to share what has worked well for me with you. So don't forget to subscribe and let's dive in. All right, y'all, this is the RovyVon U4 Carabiner folding blade. I recently made a video about how RovyVon has killed the headlamp with their awesome EDC style flashlights. And I think RovyVon has gone and done it again, but this time in the knife world with this little guy. Before I get into the specs and the features of this, let me real quick just explain my thought process here and why I don't think you need to bring a larger knife backpacking with you. Look, you don't need to have a large knife like this for backpacking.
Why would you be carrying a knife like this?
Unless you're going hunting.
Hunting? Don't be a wise guy. What do you hunt with a knife?
Or bushcrafting, or you plan on building fires in the backcountry, or defending yourself from armed bandits. This does not have a lot of purposes on a typical backpacking trip. And look, I know us backpackers, we love our gear that has multiple purposes and multiple uses. Bringing a multi-tool with you, or a utility tool that has a lot of different tools and features on it, it can just become extra weight that you're not really needing and you're bringing just in case. Something like this, it's just ridiculous. I mean, come on. This is made by Outdoor Life. This thing is like so heavy, and you don't need to bring in a metal fork and a spoon on your knife. I mean, come on. But it can be tempting to bring other utility tools or multi-tools that you use in everyday life because you kind of become accustomed to them. This one has been an EDC knife for me for a long time, but it doesn't have a lot of purpose in the backcountry. You don't need to be bringing multiple screwdrivers or pliers. I mean, unless you're planning on jumping through a bunch of pickled pears or something like that, you're not gonna really need to have these little pliers in the backcountry. It's really heavy and bulky, and you don't need a blade this big when you're backpacking. So what about smaller utility tools? There's smaller multi-tools that you can bring too, and same thing. I mean, this one, I've brought this one as like a backup before, and it's got like a knife and a bottle opener, a leather punch, in case you want to do some light leather work while you're in the backcountry. And it also has pliers as well, if I can figure out how to open them. And it's the same thing. When are you ever going to use pliers in the backcountry? If you use pliers in the backcountry, comment below. Let me know how they came in handy for you. This one I have brought on some trips before and have gotten some use out of a tool like this because it doesn't have the pliers, it has scissors. But honestly, that's just a little bit of a convenience thing. Anything you're gonna cut with scissors this size, like a gauze or a moleskin or something like that, you can easily cut with a small blade. You don't need to have scissors to be able to do that. And while like tweezers are nice to have, or maybe a nail file or something like that, but I mean, I've never used that. And most first aid kits have tweezers in them already, so you don't really need to be carrying that. Got my Boy Scout knife here. I actually brought this on some backpacking trips when I was a kid, when I was in the Boy Scouts. And looking back, it's like, this is ridiculous. This is so big and heavy, and it's got this giant knife on it. It has a bottle opener, a little rusty. Has a bottle opener and a screwdriver and a leather punch, which I stabbed my hand with when I was a kid trying to break into a golf ball. That brings back memories. Anyway, when am I ever going to use a bottle opener and a screwdriver in the backcountry? Ridiculous. Look, I was a Boy Scout and I still believe in the motto of always be prepared, but that doesn't mean you need to pack a accordion in case a polka dance breaks out.
Allow me to introduce myself. Gus Polinski, Polka King of the Midwest. That's okay, I thought you might have recognized. Anyways.
In backpacking, my approach is generally more be reasonably prepared. You definitely don't need to bring a giant like commando style knife like this. This is an awesome knife. I love this knife. I really only bring this if I'm going on a hunting trip or if I'm planning on doing some bushcraft type stuff like batoning on wood to be able to start a fire.
This coat that fits you
like a glove.
You're not going to need a blade like this when you're backpacking. You know, I used to think that having a bigger blade like this would give me some kind of like protection against bears or a cougar or something like that if it were to attack. But the more I've learned over the years, that's highly unrealistic and unlikely to actually be useful. Because for one, if you're actually being attacked, you're not likely going to be able to get out your blade and actually be able to engage it in an attack with a bear while you have it out. You know, you would probably have much better luck just trying to attack it with your hiking poles and stab it with the end of those or something like that, because those are already in your hand. You're not going to have time to go and get out a giant blade, much less actually be able to deploy it and fight back with it. On many trips, I have brought a small Gerber knife just like this and told myself, oh, it's nice to have the serrated edge if you need to cut some rope or something like that in a pinch. It's also nice to have this sometimes to cut salami. I used to bring it because of that. Although lately I've realized that it's not necessary and it's actually easier. Just bite the salami off the end of the tube. It's just a nice little meat stick snack for you. And you don't have to worry about getting your knife all dirty and smelly and stinking like meat and then putting it back in your pocket or in your tent. Also, I can't count the number of times that this thing has fallen out of my pocket or off my pack when I've bent over or something like that and it falls in the dirt and I've almost lost it. I have lost one or two like this in the past before, which can be unfortunate if you've lost your one knife then. Okay, so what are the circumstances where you would actually need a blade, and what kind of blade would you actually typically need in a backcountry backpacking situation? That's where this little piece of gear comes from. So what this is, you got it's an S-style carabiner with a gate right there. Let's see if I can show you. A gate like that, where you can loop things in there. And then on the body of it, built into it is a folding blade. There's a lock button that locks it open as well as locking it closed. And then what you got is just a scalpel blade. It's a number 11 scalpel blade if you're curious. And honestly, that little blade right there is what I think the only kind of blade that you actually need to or should be taking into the backcountry. And I'll explain the situations where you might use it in just a minute. But first, let's go over a few specs and details of the carabiner. And I'm just going to close this so I don't accidentally drop it on my leg. But so this guy only weighs half an ounce, 16 grams.
Oh.
Made of titanium, super lightweight. Even my tiny little Leatherman skeletal thing, fairly lightweight, still weighs an ounce and a half. So you gain a whole extra ounce free from not having all those extra like nail files and things like that. And you've got a half ounce barely there knife. The carabiner feels sturdy and legit. It says it holds up to 110 pounds on the carabiner. So don't be rappelling with this thing or something. You can do just fine to strap things on your pack or tie off a rope for a tarp system or something like that. And then the nice thing about the blade is that it can be replaced. You can just get more of these number 11 scalpel blades and just pop that right off right there. And so if it gets dull, you can just replace it. And it comes with 5 of them when you buy them. You can buy a pack of them on Amazon for 13 cents a piece. And so that way you could pack an extra 1 or 2 of them like in your first aid kit or something, so that if it did get dull or something, you have another one, or if that gets broken or something, you could still replace it. Like I said, functionality wise, it works pretty well. It's a little bit tiny, I get that, but like I said, you're not going to be like, attacking a bear with it or something. But it actually fits pretty good in your hand. You stick your finger through there, and then like I said, it locks, so you don't have to be worried about that flipping over and hitting your finger. You actually get some pretty good sturdy leverage on it to be able to cut something. And that locking feature I love, because a lot of knives have a lock out feature while it's open, so it won't close on you. But this one also has a locking closed mechanism.
I see.
So that thing's not going to be coming open on you. You have to push that button for it to be able to open. So if it's like on your belt loop or something like that, it's not going to accidentally slide open and stab you. And speaking of belt loops, this thing has become an EDC item for me for sure. This is so great to just have on my belt loop. I don't even notice it's there, and I always have a blade with me, and it doesn't get in my way. It's not in my pocket all the time. But back to backpacking. I think this blade covers over 90% of the uses that you would need on a typical backpacking trip. Things like cutting cords, cutting paracord, cutting strings, tarp guy outlines, things like that. Maybe something like repairing a shoelace. And then obviously like cutting gauze or Leuko tape or moleskin. This is perfect for that because those scalpels are insanely sharp, and so it's super easy to cut those out in the shape you need them. And like I said, you can just keep an extra scalpel blade in your first aid kit, and then that way you do have a sterile, brand new, super sharp blade if you did need it for some kind of medical emergency or something like that. One other thing I've used knives for on some trips is getting splinters out of my hand. Again, super great for that. That super sharp blade is gonna let you get in there and like scrape the splinter out without having to like really get in there with your dirty blade that you had salami on, and then you're just digging into the palm of your hand trying to, you know, gnaw that thing out of there. To me, this seems like a much more effective solution for that kind of thing. Just a couple other things to note about this. On the back, it does have a ruler, but it only comes in centimeters. So sorry, fellow Americans, that's pretty useless to you and I. There's another model called the U4 Pro that has a screwdriver or a star bit built into the other side of the body of it. I opted for this model because I wanted the one that was the most lightweight, but even the one with the screwdriver on it still weighs less than 1 ounce. And so I love this thing so much, and I might be picking up the one with the screwdriver for EDC purposes just to keep on my belt loop every day. Speaking of EDC, I've got another great bonus tip for you related to this, but before I get to that, if this is helpful or you're liking it at all, if you don't mind, please hit the like button. It really helps me out and I appreciate it. So, bonus tip with this guy, more related to EDC than backpacking, although it could relate to backpacking as well. How many of you have gotten into the TSA line and realized that you forgot to take your pocket knife out of your pack or out of your pocket, and then you're stuck and they have to confiscate it, or you lose a knife? It's such a sinking feeling. I've had it happen to me. Still miss that Spyderco blade that I stashed in the plant at the airport trying to find it when I got back, but it wasn't there. But with this one, if you forget and you still have it clipped on your belt loop or whatever, or your pack, you can always just pop the blade off and get rid of that, and then they won't have to confiscate the rest of it. And I'm not even sure of the rules lately. A blade that small might actually even be allowed on airplanes now. Somebody let me know in the comment if that's true or not. But regardless, if you're going somewhere where knives are not allowed, like a concert or some kind of event, and you forget to take your knife out and leave it in the car, you can always just pop the blade off, toss the blade, and then replace it when you get home. And then obviously you don't have to lose your knife. Pretty sweet perk if you ask me. All right, so have I convinced you to replace your backpacking knife with one of these? If so, let me know in the comments why or why not. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to try to answer them. And I have more thoughts like this in this video where I talk about other essential items that I don't think that you need to be bringing backpacking. So check that out. See you over there.